18 coverage. I'm back from yesterday. I know you all missed me. And then once again, returning with us from the last 2 years of our streams, got my friend Nick here to the right. Today, we're going to be doing the Xbox media briefing, and then later on tonight will be Bethesda. But yeah, kicking it off with Xbox, the first of the big three to kind of do their thing on here. Just wanted to take the opportunity to kind of go over some predictions, maybe some things that we think are kind of essentials for Microsoft to address during this conference in order for us to kind of be, satisfied, I guess, with what they're kind of currently up to. So, Nick, do you have any kind of big predictions so far, or anything that you're really feeling like is a definite for you?
Right now, not really. I feel like they got to get something out for their first parties or any kind of exclusives because they got nothing. They just released Sea of Thieves, which is the biggest flop on that system's history for this huge game that was hyped up. So maybe they'll do something to kind of repair that and fix some of the damage that was done by that. Hopefully there's some kind of future plans for that game shown here for anyone who purchased it. Other than that, they got Crackdown 3, which I don't know if people still care about at this point. And then maybe Halo 6.
Yeah, I would say probably to something Halo. Maybe a mainline game, as it feels like doesn't feel like it's been enough years to get it right, but it definitely feels like it's enough years to cash in on it again. As far as Sea of Thieves, I remember a year ago when we were doing our coverage, it just had, or that was 2 years ago, I think, when they first kind of announced it, and we were saying it had a lot of promise to it. But I think it ended up eventually kind of suffering from a problem that a lot of kind of open world, especially open world multiplayer games, are plagued with, which is you give me a big playground full of nothing, and there's really not a whole lot that I'm able to kind of do with that. Not a lot I can use to kind of make that work. Let me just...
Yeah, exactly. I think... Hopefully they do something. Other than that, third-party games, maybe Borderlands 3. I think that'll be shown at either Xbox or PlayStation. Not really sure which one. And then there's the game from The Witcher people, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
And they've always leaned towards Xbox in terms of what platform they show their stuff on. So I think we could see that very likely.
Yeah, and, another thing kind of along those same lines, I know yesterday we got a brief look during EA's, EA Play event at the upcoming Battlefield, and I know that they mentioned that they're going to do kind of an extended showcase of that during this presentation. I think it's almost a yearly tradition at this stage of the game that we're probably going to see something Minecraft related. What it is this time around, I couldn't have told you the last several years, honestly. I think it's really just a matter of waiting until we see and find out. But that's something that we could pretty confidently say is going to get some screen time during this event. I personally would really like to see something a little bit more hardware related. I remember, 2 years ago, it was one of the best kind of E3 briefings for me, just in general, was when they opened with the Xbox One S, which was okay, let's bundle this console at a cheaper price for people who care a little bit less about the specs and things like that. And then they went into the Design Lab, which got the Design Lab controller right here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was awesome. I saw that and... call me a sucker, but I had to. It's stuff like that is really convenient, kind of allowing a much more modular gaming experience. I think is a really kind of make or break approach, but it's essential to at least sample it during this current time frame. I think we're entering an era where consoles themselves are becoming a lot more iterative along the same lines of the way that PC is traditionally. And so in order for them to stay viable, they either have to keep up or pass it out altogether. Only difficulty there is if it reaches a point where it's equally viable to own a PC and an Xbox, why would I not, buy something that's also a computer? It's you have like the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, like these types of consoles. I mean, there's always to some extent been things like this, but it's usually like, oh, this one has additional storage, or this one's more convenient to carry around, or this one's got like a sleek new design. It's never really been the games that we develop for this console are going to run better if you have this new iteration of the same console. I think a lot of kind of console loyalists really appreciate the ability to be able to purchase a game, just kind of, or purchase a console and know that the games that they buy for that console are going to be kind of static. They're going to work the way that they should for that 6 to 10 year span. So now kind of having the expectation of there are exclusive games that will only run at this certain resolution if I have a PS4 Pro. I think unfortunately, like fortunately and unfortunately, right, the ability that we have as developers to create really strong content and really good looking content is something that is increasing at a more rapid pace than the console market is really capable of keeping up with. So that's definitely something that I think, just as a rule of thumb, is going to affect the company with the least amount of exclusives the most. So Microsoft really needs to kind of bring, their A game with the types of content that we can see through this briefing.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what we'll be getting for hardware. The Xbox One X is still super recent. It would be a bad move to push out a new console.
Oh yeah,
people just bought this.
Yep.
But luckily they did say that whatever games for the Xbox One X come out, they'll run fine on the previous Xbox One, which is nice. So you have that kind of safety in knowing that. Definitely.
I mean, I wish I had the foresight last year to keep a tally of how many times the most powerful console ever made was said.
Yeah.
I think it's a real issue of show versus tell, especially when your main pull is 4K, because most people literally cannot see what you're describing. Like, their screens just won't allow for it.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely a lot of pros and cons to taking a hardware approach, and I guess I don't necessarily mean that I would like to see a new console, but something like the Design Lab, for instance, it was really innovative, really quick, didn't really have a lasting impact on the market, didn't really have an overwhelming presence over the course of the next several years, but it's just something that exists, and
it's something that's fun.
Yeah, and Xbox as a whole is better off because it exists. Like, it's just an option that's there, it has its benefits. It doesn't necessarily stifle their ability to create any new content for owners of remaining hardware. That's not really the approach I think I'm talking about when I refer to hardware as the next thing. I think it's more about creating something that has an impression on the current existing technology that people already have in their homes, rather than something that people are already, or that are going to have to kind of make any sort of adjustments in order to be able to maintain.
Yeah. I think it's about making things your own too, and being able to like personalize or how you play games in a sense. It's something that no one needs, but it's nice knowing it's there.
Exactly. Welcome Dr. Lovebox to the chat. Feel free to comment your impressions of any sort of game trailers or anything. I know last year you had some pretty funny input, so we're definitely glad to hear anything you have to say there. So I guess we got about 2 minutes before they start up. I want to know, Nick, from you, what is the one thing that could be announced or shown today that's really going to blow you away? What would allow Xbox to win E3 for you?
Oh, geez. Probably Borderlands 3. It's been a while since we've gotten a Borderlands game, so that's really what I'm looking for. Or something that no one's expected. Maybe some kind of new IP.
I remember there was a couple of years ago, it was a Platinum game that got canceled very shortly after the press conference. And it was the coolest looking thing ever. I have no idea how that transpired. But something along those lines would probably be it for me. Xbox usually isn't my cup of tea as far as software. I can appreciate kind of what they aim to do. I can appreciate what these games are and who the audiences are, but there's rarely anything where I'm like, oh man, I really want to buy that. So I'm hoping to see it something that kind of works that angle with me today. Like yesterday at EA Play, it was Unravel 2. I never even played the first game. I went today and I bought it and I just started playing around with it because it was like that impressive. So hopefully something, kind of in that area. But it's looking as though we're going to be getting started very briefly. It's supposed to be starting already, and I had to mute the presentation because they have this just horrible song playing right now. I don't know what it is, but it makes me very physically uncomfortable.
Looks like it's 4 o'clock, so
Yep.
picking up.
Let's get on, guys. Let's get on with it. EA was on time, if you could say nothing else about them. Oh, here we go.
E3 2018 briefing.
Let me just go ahead and make a quick little adjustment here. Sorry, guys. This is that new Pokemon game. Oh, of course it is. Of course it's... What did we say? Just enough time to cash in on it, right? But what exactly will it be? Powered by Slip Space. It's quite the name for
Please welcome the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Sorry about this, guys. Just kind of tossing our little chat feed here so we can...
With Halo Infinite, we will join Master Chief on his greatest adventure yet to save humanity. We're now at a moment of exceptional creativity in gaming. We can't wait to show you what Creativity Unleashed looks like for you. So to all the gamers around the world, across time zones and languages, to every single person watching us on TV and on Mixer, and to our largest ever live audience, the thousands of you with us right here in the Microsoft Theater. Welcome to E3 2018. I'd like to personally thank everyone who's joining us from FanFest.
Yeah, not us.
100% of proceeds from your FanFest tickets are going to Gamers Outreach. Thanks to you, Kids and Children's Hospitals get to game with their friends in their favorite world. It's a great cause. That's what I appreciate most about gaming. Gaming brings us together. Gaming connects us.
FanFest.
It inspires our truest cooperation. It creates some of our fondest memories of competition and our deepest conversations about the stories within games. Most of all, gaming fosters real community. It reaches across age, ability, race, gender, and geography. This is why I always
That's unless you
believe
got a woman in your
we
Battlefield
will
game.
always believe we are a great unifier. And what unifies us is our shared love of this art form. Legendary characters
That's where we
who
draw the line.
captivate us, not just for 10 hours, but for 10, 20, 30 years. Bold stories that inspire the hero within us. Iconic worlds that are so richly imagined, we feel excitement in the air and danger on the seas. As gamers, we are at a momentous time where creative vision and cutting-edge technology together are delivering the art form we love. So, for months, our teams and I have traveled the world, meeting developers from Japan to Poland, from the UK to the Ukraine, from big studios to single developers.
And they're all working on military shooters and racing
Power and
games.
potential of Xbox One to
Just a
express
battle royale
their
con. So,
Today, we've curated a bold showcase of their best work, and ours. 50 games. 18 titles with exclusivity,
Okay.
and 15 world premieres.
alright.
Let's get to it then.
Will be first-timers on this stage, and others will be first-timers on any stage. All are imagined by the industry's greatest talents. All demonstrate what true artisans can create. Mind-blowing art, immersive sound effects, breathtaking worlds. So let's jump in.
Exclusive. Oh, the exclusive's back.
Oh, that's cool. I never got to the first of these, but
This is Ward, right?
yeah, it was like at its cheapest over the summer.
It looks super good, and it has to be. It's gone amazing reviews across the board. This is the third one now?
I think so.
Assuming the second one that came out.
Unless, yeah, this might just be another trailer for the second one. I honestly stopped following it.
Uh-huh.
Looks like they're using a lot more, like, dynamic 3D elements some places.
It looks real good.
I'm telling you, I feel like this is going to be the year where they try to shove all the Battle Royale games down our throat, but it actually ends up being indie puzzle platformers that are all of the highest performing.
This year could be huge for indies if people get sick of battle royales.
Which I think they already are. Like, I think it was IGN tweeted about the Battlefield thing. They were like, oh, there's going to be a Battle Royale mode. Anybody excited? And then, like, it was just, like, 70 straight replies of just, no. No, are you kidding?
Looks like death is not your fate. Just yet.
Oh, wow. Is this, Bloodborne 2?
Sometimes
It's the game made by them, but Bloodborne 1 never came to Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, the first Bayonetta didn't end up coming to any Nintendo consoles until Bayonetta 2 was in development.
You'll learn to appreciate its worth.
But this doesn't look like Bloodborne.
Nope. I'm intrigued.
I dig me some samurai parkour. I'm all about that.
Always.
Your death won't come easily.
Oop.
Oh, cool. It just looks like a brand new IP. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks really good.
Borrows a lot from Dark Souls
Please
and
welcome
whatnot.
from Bethesda Game Studios, Todd Howard.
Uh-oh.
Todd Howard. Get our boy out here.
Careful, Todd. We got a polygraph on you, man.
How's everybody doing? It's great to see
Skyrim again?
You know, actually, the Bethesda
I hope so.
We're bringing Fallout to Skyrim.
across the street. And Phil said to me, I'm having a few friends over. Why don't you stop by? And look, I know Phil is really, really charming. But damn, he's got a lot of friends. And the good news is, you're our friends too. We've had an incredible 16-year history with Xbox, going all the way back to the original with Morrowind. Now backwards compatible. And that goes all the way to bringing mods to consoles with Fallout 4.
Wow.
And now,
Okay, what's
we are
next?
bringing the Fallout universe to Xbox Game Pass with Fallout 4 launching today. And hey, since we're here, we thought we'd give all of you an exclusive world premiere first look at Fallout 76.
Oh. Finally gonna put some answers to those questions.
Yes,
What is
Fallout
this
76 is a prequel to all the other games, and it is our biggest one yet. It is 4 times the size of Fallout 4. Set in the hills of West Virginia, you are one of the first to emerge into an untamed and very different wasteland.
After our great nation began, we gathered together to honor the completion
of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault-Tec, but it was built by you. So that if the bombs do come, our way of life will endure.
Can't believe Jeremy's missing this. This is his jam. Looks gorgeous, honestly.
It looked good.
But they haven't shown us anybody's faces yet.
Yeah.
It's probably on purpose.
But when the fighting is stopped and the fallout has settled, you must rebuild. Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds. And ultimately, America itself. In Vault 76, our future begins.
So is this just straight up like another core game then? That's what it looked like to me.
That's how they marketed it right here, so. That's wild.
Yeah. What's this? Is this Life is Strange?
Ooh,
I think this is Life is Strange too. Oh. Oh man.
It's just me, Captain Spirit. This is Chris of Flying Fortress. Have you spotted Snowman, sir? Not yet. Keep me posted. Okay, Dad.
See, they announced this a while ago.
I always get picked last for the team at school, and they never throw the ball to me.
They can't tell stories like you can they?
No way. Start the launch. Too late. Emergency bomb.
what is this?
You won't get away from me.
It's very interesting to me because the last game had like a much more mature
Me too.
storytelling method to it, but honestly, this already looks better to me. Like, looks and sounds better.
Is that the kid from Home Alone?
Killed my vibe, man. I was so hyped for this.
Is it just free? Alright.
I mean, the first Life is Strange, like, and no kidding, it had its issues, but it was like a really solid story, you know, about things that legitimately do matter. So that was.
Yeah.
No, I don't think this is gonna work. Is this Terry Crews' game again? I was watching an interview with him about this the other day.
What do you have to say?
It was just him, like, being hyped that he's gonna be in a video game and being disappointed that he didn't get to do the voice in Overwatch.
I love how much fun he's having with
Is
it.
he actually here? Can we bring him out?
Please.
I feel so out of touch for having not played this game. But I'll never get around to it now. I just know it another time.
Yeah. What game is this?
It's Nier Automata.
Okay.
If I didn't pronounce that correctly, y'all can just let that be.
And the skies rained missiles, and the ground burned to ash, and the seas boiled, and people turned into shadows. So let us not fear the heretics at our door. Even with their iron steeds standing before us, stinking of machine oil, and shining its terrible light upon us. Remember, most of the country has been destroyed or occupied. Even those who speak our language might be enemies, by conviction or out of fear. We will not falter. Let us steel ourselves against them. For this is our hour of glory. Amen.
Being a little intense there, buddy.
Let's move out, Artyom.
I feel like this looks like a lot like a Apollo game.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Whatever it is, it feels really uninspired already.
Mm-hmm.
They want blood? They will keep it. We'll cross it no matter what those fanatics think. And if the heretics come for our lives, we will stand firm.
What was that game they made for the Xbox One a couple of years ago? That was straight up, like, just Infamous. But instead it was set in, like, some beachside...
Record?
Might have been. No, Recore was, that was the guy who did Mega Man. That was his game. I'm thinking of something that was a couple of years back.
Oh, Sunset Overdrive?
Might have been Sunset Overdrive. Yep, that's what I'm thinking of. Wonder if they're going to do another one of those.
Brutal landscape, history of the ruins above ground. What I love about our art form is the vast range of creative expression, from grim post-apocalyptic battles to hand-painted spirit guardians. Whatever world these creators build, whatever story they tell, whatever world these creators build, whatever story
Oh.
they tell, whatever
Tastes so
sound
nice, you
they
said it
use,
twice.
we will work with creators to guarantee that their games look and play best on Xbox One. Like this next game, generations have loved role-playing games from invented studios in Japan. Our next game is the latest in a legendary series. For the first time ever on Xbox,
Kingdom Hearts? Yeah.
It's cold. Yes, these two used
Is this a Frozen Kingdom?
Look.
I mean, whatever.
I hate Goofy. I hate.
This game looks really good.
It does. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks like they just ripped them right out of the movie.
All of our these are friends.
I want to go back and play the other ones now.
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph, thank you. Oh man, I'm so on the fence about that.
Look out!
That's amazing. You can control ice.
Control it. No, all I ever do is hurt people. This is my home now. I can't go back. I don't want to hurt anyone.
Hark!
This is so edgy.
Look out! Oh!
Things they don't really
Do we have audio missing? Is that what I'm seeing in the chat?
Roxas does exist. His heart's inside my heart.
The other Twilight Town is just
I can.
So what will
I care. I don't know.
Light or darkness? I know. I want to know.
Well, good for you, but guess what? I won't let her fall to darkness.
Okay, it's just about the trailer. So they won't fall to the darkness. This person has darkness seeping off of them.
Is that? Mickey. You're too late.
Oh man, when there's like a moment happening and then it's just Mickey Mouse and it's and his voice.
Exclusive.
It was legitimately jarring. Update time?
Hell yeah.
And now we're gonna add content.
Add an actual game.
We're gonna No Man's Sky this one. It'll just get good once everyone forgets about it.
You cower in the doorway. I actually like meeting new people. Besides, the conversation with my friend here has reached a bit of an impasse. I think he just needs a moment to cool off. Now, I sense that you brought me something to inspect. Show me.
Is this gonna be like a story mode or something? I feel like that wouldn't remedy the issues here.
Land is revealed. The forsaken shores. A place of darkness. Where fire and ash conceal hope. And from the depths skeleton crews will rise to curse the seas. An ancient evil set loose upon the sea of thieves. You have delivered unto me a portent too most terrible. Oh!
You just wanted to know how much it was worth, didn't you? Fine, I'll give you 10 for it.
I mean,
Alright.
I'm not confident in whatever that was, if I'm honest, but I mean, it might just be that the game's not really for me. Oh, is this Battlefield? This looks kind of like what they were showing yesterday.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
We're really just rattling them off. I like this approach.
It's good.
I mean, I like a little fluff here and there, but more often than not, it's just done incorrectly. Oh, is this Forza?
Yep.
I don't really care how it'll make me sound. I will never spend a dime on any racing game that is not Mario Kart. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. I don't know. I hope that they hired that same guy from last year who talked about Need for Speed for like 5 seconds on EA's presentation. He is a YouTube creator. Show some respect.
Well, then he should be good at talking to people.
Yeah. Yep. He sure should. This is where they reveal another car like they did last year. Or was that for Need for Speed? I think that was Need for Speed for EA that they did that.
I think they brought out a car every year.
How do we not have time for somebody to talk about the new Battlefield, but someone's gonna get up here and talk to me about Forza like something's new?
Yeah.
Fantastic to be here.
I was hoping we'd get more on Battlefield.
Excited to show you the world.
I'm not even interested in the game, and I just know, like, priorities, dude.
Set in beautiful, historic Britain. Forza Horizon 4 features dynamic seasons in a shared open world. And seasons change everything. Let me introduce you to some of our team who will be helping demo the game today. Please welcome Phil, who is online with a few friends in the beautiful English countryside. He has chosen the incredible new McLaren Senna. And say hi to Solomon, who is hanging out with his buddies on the streets of Scotland's capital, Edinburgh. Solomon is driving the Hoonigan Ford Focus. And please welcome Andy, whose off-road buggy is perfect for taking jumps, scaling rocky terrain, and having fun on the coastline of Britain. But first, let's join Rebecca. She is enjoying the summer in her highly customized Nissan Silvia. The sun is out, the sky is blue, and it's the perfect day for a drive. Forza Horizon 4's Britain is a shared open world. When you play with the entire community.
Racing game battle royale?
Let's join Bill.
What I just saw, which looked like it was about to be a 12-person collision, in no way looked fun, or like what I want in a racing game.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile,
I literally still have GTA 5. If this is what I wanted, that's what I would do.
Is still full
Yeah.
of action-packed fun. And
It's just
now,
driving
we're
around
gonna show
having
you how
fun with your
seasons
friends.
change everything.
Oh, but seasons change everything.
In Horizon 4, every season changes the world around you, with each bringing its own unique beauty and unique gameplay. One of the great things about this shared world is that it's easy to interact with the people you meet. Here, Solomon and Rebecca use the new quick chat feature on the D-pad to start a new friendship. It looks like Rebecca has found some like-minded friends. It's great to play solo, but it's better to play with others. Horizon 4 lets you seamlessly enter co-op from within the game world. Seasons, time of day, and weather conditions are dynamic, but they are synchronized for every player, so the entire community will experience them at the same time. Now, as much as we'd all love to sit and watch the sun go down together, let's see how this scene looks in winter. The entire of the world changes beyond recognition. In winter, the lake has frozen solid, and previously inaccessible areas can be reached. The trees have entirely lost their leaves, and snow...
I would really not recommend doing that.
Trees have
Yeah,
entirely
no.
lost their leaves, and snow and ice cover the terrain. The visuals and the driving
Don't try this at home.
couldn't be more different. And now a blimp has
I do really like this aspect of the game.
of a new
It's pretty
world
cool.
event.
No, I definitely think it's, like, cool and inventive. It just almost feels different enough where
And while they head off,
it even still being a Forza game almost feels kind of unnecessary.
looks in spring.
Yeah.
Once again, the world changes
Feels like one of those massive overhauls that kind of loses the identity of the game in the process. Like open world Dynasty Warriors.
Every season, there are new reasons to play Forza Horizon 4, and the huge, creative, fun-loving Horizon community will be there to enjoy them with you. Today, you've seen a completely new take on Horizon. In Forza Horizon 4, you will live in a vast, beautiful world in which dynamic seasons change everything. Forza Horizon 4 is coming to Xbox One and Windows 10 on October 2nd, and I am thrilled to announce that it will be included in Xbox Game Pass on the same day. Thank you so much.
Please welcome back Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer is super cool though.
Good deal.
Hmm.
We know that exclusive games from our Microsoft studios are what originally turned so many of us into Xbox fans. My
Is that
team
true?
and I take our commitment to you seriously.
Like Halo did that, sure, but
And for you to
Fusion
have the
Frenzy
best
and Forza
game,
weren't exactly having lines going out of stores.
This is why we're increasing our investment
You want to
in
go to
our
midnight release of Forza for this?
Absolutely, October. It's Jeremy's birthday. We could all go as a group.
why a new world that will deepen your love for gaming on Xbox. We embarked on a quest to find creative teams that have the mastery of our art form. And we found innovative game designers, master storytellers,
Time to talk about the indies.
exceptional world builders. And now, I'm proud to introduce the creation of a brand new Microsoft studio. The Initiative,
What's
led
this?
by Daryl Gallagher, a visionary storyteller who has worked across some of the most iconic franchises for over 20 years. This new Santa Monica studio is building a team of world-class talent to create groundbreaking new game experiences. And next,
Are
I'm excited to
they
welcome
hiring?
Undead Labs to Microsoft Studios. This studio caught our attention with their visionary approach to building a zombie survival franchise. They just released their second infestation into the world, and in the first 2 weeks, over 2 million of you have joined the fight to survive. Now, it's my distinct pleasure to announce that we have acquired Playground Games. This is one of the highest rated studios of this generation, celebrated for their incredible craftsmanship. Not only will Playground Games continue to work on Forza Horizon, they're bringing their open world expertise to an entirely new project. We can't wait to share more about that later. And for the fourth new studio, it's my personal honor
I'm
to
excited.
welcome Ninja Theory.
Because Forza looks beautiful.
Ninja Theory. Wow, that's pretty surprising.
I met Nina and Shamim.
Guess if they do another DMC, it's gonna be an exclusive.
Chaos back on the original Xbox. And a minute into playing Hellblade,
Oh,
you know
I love that
you're in the
game.
hands of
Kung Fu
master
Chaos.
storytellers who are furious about telling bold cinematic stories. This is a team gifted in creating new franchises. And yes, we've got a fifth studio to announce. Compulsion Games. 2 years ago, we premiered a game we couldn't get out of our heads. A game that captivated us with its strong, fresh, and intense storytelling. We
Happy for you, yeah.
Is nearing its full release to gamers everywhere. So please
Gamers.
help me in welcoming all of our new studios. By joining us at Microsoft Studios, these 5 new teams will have the resources, the platform, and creative
Is
independence
Minecraft a
to
studio?
take bigger risks.
That was one of the ones listed on the screen, you know? I guess.
I think it's
The enemy of
I know they acquired the studio that originally developed Minecraft like years ago.
Yeah.
But you know the truth, don't you? There's not a thing I can tell you that you don't already know. Is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death. And they're painting the streets in rainbows. Have you not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile. And when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No. It's better not to know.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington West. Do what you should be doing, and you never have to play.
Sally?
Arthur, we're practically the only 2 people in this entire city not stoned out of our minds on joy.
It's not a lovely day, Brett. It's a terrible day, Brett.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you turn them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry?
You've got your farming time.
People won't face facts. Not until we take their joy. And when we do that, they'll murder each other in the street.
Looks good.
Exclusive.
Uh-oh. This is PUBG. mess is this?
What is this?
Oh, wow, a Tails game. Not gonna lie, Xbox, this is one market I don't think you have cornered here.
No. I think that's what they're trying to do with this.
Yeah, stuff like this and Kingdom Hearts and all that.
Yeah.
Look, it looks good. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't.
Yeah. It's not your crowd though.
I would definitely say, game wise, it definitely feels like my cup of tea. I just don't. Yeah.
Washington, D.C., the most heavily protected city on Earth.
Within its limits, 177 foreign embassies, 550 elected officials, and 23,000 military personnel. In the event of an attack, critical personnel are evacuated, underground shelters open, while complex defense systems patrol the sky.
But nothing stopped the virus. 27 days after patient zero, Washington fell. It began with riots on K Street, then shootings in the National Mall. Troops withdrew to bunkers. Civilians were left in the streets.
America is on the brink of collapse, but some people have survived. Gardens growing.
This is a neat PowerPoint, Herlin says.
Communities that live under
Gotta keep everybody up to speed.
survival has taken the form of urban warfare.
Centuries ago, on this very soil, brother fought brother, spilling blood to forge the United States. History is threatening to repeat itself.
Now, in the heat of summer, 6 months after the outbreak began, a remnant of a corrupt state lurks in the shadows, ready to engage in a new civil war.
Agents of the division are the only ones standing against it.
Oh,
But how do you save a nation when its
this is
enemies
the
come
sequel
from
to The Division. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not alone.
No.
Matt, that crash site is just ahead. Duke, Kit, did you guys hear that? Yeah.
Closer this time.
For this parachute, dropped right through the ceiling. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, that'll come in handy.
One thing that I'll never understand, and I feel like this happens at every E3,
Yep.
want to showcase how good a game looks visually.
Merry
But
Christmas.
they make the mistake of taking a fast-paced action game, and 3/4 of the sequencing that we're seeing here is people walking through desolate, abandoned areas, and the remaining 1/4 is one kind of mediocre, generic action shot of someone jumping on something or firing at something. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna buy an action game, It's like the Walking Dead disease. Like I don't want to just watch people take a stroll. Like it's supposed to be, something deeper or more exciting than that. That alone is not enough to be captivating.
We're at the point where we get that people can make good-looking games.
Mm-hmm. And it's like a good-looking stylized game is now something to marvel at. A good-looking realistic game is nothing special. It's par for the course. If your game is set in a realistic setting and does not look realistic now, you're either an indie company or you're doing something wrong. So I really don't need, like, all these reminders, oh, our scenery is great. Well, it's fantastic, but, like, it's not, it's not The Last of Us. Like, let's...
Yeah.
Check this out. Almost there.
So much loot.
We're also probably going to have to watch the same thing again tomorrow at Ubisoft's own press conference.
Yeah.
I'm coming to you. I can't find the chopper. Eyes on the target. Wait for it. I used to always have this thing where I would say to friends, like, whenever we're playing any game, like, it could be the dumbest co-op game with, like, goofy... It could be Overcooked, and I'm ready to go, guys, we've got company. Gotta hit him with all the tropes. How about a sequel to Overcooked, by the way? Can we get a visual on that, please?
I'd watch gameplay of that.
This hurts.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I could use a little help over here. Like, of all the times we did four-person heists, even when we were trying to be this obnoxious, it never worked out that way. It's just the most unrealistic thing ever for people to talk to each other like that.
Get that weak point.
Oh crap, Matt, watch out. Setting my drone.
Thank you for the revive, Meg.
I've got this guy on the egg.
Matt with the hive knife.
Alright, just lay it on him. I hit. Drop down.
Down there.
Time to light them up.
I hate this going on way too long.
Yeah, for real. I would have liked to have seen more of the Life is Strange, honestly.
Flare is up. Control point is ours. Nice. You guys wanna check out the plane? Let's go.
Or Fallout. There'll probably be plenty of Fallout tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like a rough
I
landing.
think it's probably good that we didn't see a whole lot of
Yeah.
Fallout. And it's still going.
Oop, here it is. Here's that big action shot we're probably going to end on.
Let's check it out.
Great idea. Let's just die.
Great idea. Let's run into the trouble.
Take the capital back.
This guy freaking Ninja Turtle? Like, who are you?
Yeah, this is the Ninja Turtles video game.
What did I say? Big action shot we're going to end it on. I'm telling you, these things...
I don't know what they're fighting.
They get so predictable. Like, now, yeah, for this there wasn't even, like, an enemy we could visualize. Like, it hurts a little bit, to see every single, like, trailer for any sort of realistic action shooter is composed in almost the exact same way. Especially when it's a multiplayer game.
Never had so many incredible games to play. Storied franchises, uncharted worlds, new releases, and cult classics.
But whoa, you can't say
Genres
Uncharted
we love.
Worlds. It's a
And
little
genres
close.
Xbox gets sued over.
One amazing game over another. So we set out to solve that problem. And to answer the question, what if you didn't have to choose? What if you could play them all? The answer? Xbox Game Pass. A way to give gamers the ultimate freedom to play.
I can't do services like that. I tried to buy into PS Now for like a month one time, but every time I would sit down to play something, I would close out of it after like 5 seconds to check and see what the next thing was. Like, it was just... It was too overwhelming of a library. Sometimes I need a game I could just sit down with.
Last year, we've been working on how to give you faster access to all those games. We leveraged the machine learning expertise we have in...
I feel like they're making this a really good deal though, because they're bringing these like full price games to the service, which is already half the cost for a year.
Unlike the current...
I actually don't know what is the current pricing model for Game Pass.
So it's $10 a month.
Okay. It's about $2 more than a Netflix subscription. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to announce that Fast Start will launch for select titles in the June update coming later this month. Ultimately, it all comes down to the games. We'll continue to deliver iconic favorites like Halo the Master Chief Collection, coming later this year. We also plan to release all new exclusive games from Microsoft Studios, including Forza Horizon 4, Crackdown 3, and more, into the Xbox Game Pass catalog on the same day as their global release.
That's impressive.
Every month, we'll also bring new games from leading creative studios into your Xbox Game Pass library. Games like Ashen, Warhammer Vermintide 2, After Party, and Phoenix Point, all available in Xbox Game Pass the same day as their global release.
The faces she's making are like, yeah, I know, guys.
So let's talk about what's happening today. Tom Clancy's The Division. Online Tamriel Unlimited.
Okay, well, that's actually kind of notable. ESO.
And Fallout 4.
Is that Fallout 4 76 edition? I don't understand.
And all of them playable today in Xbox Game Pass. Thank you to all of the developers working with us to bring freedom of choice to gamers around the world with Xbox Game Pass.
Y'all are doing
Thanks,
it.
everyone.
Respect, respect. It's been about an hour, so we're probably going to be narrowing down to some of the...
Bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe another look at that Halo game they started with.
Mm-hmm.
We're really harping on that golf game.
On it for a while.
Meat Boy Forever is like, it's an infinite runner. It's a little surprising. Game Sable looked pretty good. I like that art style.
Yeah.
was a good reel.
Yeah.
And some golf.
I thought I knew why I came here. I saw it. The end. And now the truth feels further away than ever. I still have so many questions.
Is this Temple of Osiris 2? Please let it be the twin stick shooter again.
We can't let Trinity get hold of this.
Let's think this through. You realize the tragedy of this mission.
The cleansing is done. Falls to me now to stop it before it consumes us all.
What have I done?
I like that Tomb Raider trailers are just Lara Croft getting
Yeah, just beat up, always. Her face looks very, very different than it did in the last game.
yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess is fine, because her face in the last game looked very, very different than it did in the first game. So.
I know that it's hard to believe.
You don't know that you caused all this, Laura!
You need to trust me.
We have to trust each other.
I'm gonna actually say that, like, art direction wise, I think this looks kind of worse than the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably, like, super unfinished, but.
He wants to alter the course of humanity. If you had that power, what would you do?
Oh, never mind. It's, like, super, super finished.
Exclusive.
They say I'm like Bruce Willis, unbreakable, die hard, true sickness with this mic on a tripod, but I'm not down, gun tag, break a killer of stone, blows into your skull, hands on your home, ritual like a cannibal, imagine you the antelope, and I'm the king of the jungle, animal instinct, phenomenal stamina, just think about a man on the brink of his hand.
Herlin, I think you got your wish, my friend.
Is this Skate?
I think so. Oh, I guess it's probably a spiritual successor of sorts, or somebody trying to make people's dreams come true.
Exclusive.
They say you only live once. I beg to differ.
You're opening your trailer with YOLO?
I was born 3 times, and I've met death 3 times. My first home was Altanova. The curiosity I gained there cost me my first life. I always began in Tarif, the village of the sorcerers. I once thought that this would be my true home. Everything changed when I started to ask the forbidden questions.
Black Desert's pretty good. I had a chance to play it a couple of years back.
World premiere. We've known each other a long time. You never had this much trouble. You gonna make me do this?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, he's back. It's Dante. All right. Oh, is this the real deal? Is this the regular, the mainline series?
To keep steaming it.
Oh no, yep, there's Johnny Young Bosch doing his signature voice, which is just him talking. So they're just doing a proper sequel, then that's cool. Oh my god, it's featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Please welcome from Capcom, producer Matt Walker and director Hideaki Itsuno.
It's a pretty big deal. They're souped.
As director, I wait for you for this. Thank you so much. DMC is back. English is hard. Matt, you do it.
Of course. It's been 10 years since Devil May Cry 4 was released, and fans have been asking for a true sequel ever since. So this is our response, loud and clear, that we hear you. Devil May Cry and Hideaki Itsuno are back.
That's some proper hype happening there. Got my respect.
Early on in the development of Devil May Cry 5, we set our sights on creating something that was going to have world-class visuals. So we've scanned fully costumed models for all of our main characters, and with the power of Xbox One X, we're able to render them as realistically as possible. Now, while visuals are really important, the controls need to remain tight and responsive as well. So we've gathered the best minds at Capcom to ensure that we can still deliver that amazing gameplay that Devil May Cry is known for. And we think that we've made something that feels better than any action game that we've ever created.
ほらほら。すべてのファンの皆様のために一番の自信作ができました。期待してもらって大丈夫です。よろしくお願いします。
Isuzan says that he is convinced that this is the best game that he's ever made because we made it for you, our fans. And we hope you look forward to seeing more.
Have a great E3!
Will do, sir. Will do.
Exclusive.
They need more people like that to.
Mm-hmm. More Cuphead?
Ooh.
Or is this a Cuphead Smash Bros. Reveal trailer?
Cuphead, Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah, Cuphead Battle Royale.
Exclusive.
This looks real cute.
This looks pretty cute. Kind of classic Zelda-esque.
I like this.
Ooh, that's some good art direction. And I usually don't like a lot of like low poly stuff. Not really my.
It's super geometrical. Like, it looks good.
That tiny fox in a big world is a prime example of the reach of gaming today. A labor of love conceived and created by a single developer in Halifax, Nova Scotia is today commanding gaming's largest stage.
Wow,
Whether you're
one
sharing
person.
the culture of a tiny fox with more than 20 million viewers
That's-
on Mixer, or teaming
That's
up
pretty
with
impressive.
live friends to slay
That's
zombies.
beyond impressive.
Gaming is an incredible community. We've always believed that building community is vital for gaming. There's real power in our shared experience. Sharing the same world, the same season, the same campaign.
Seasons indeed.
There's real meaning in sharing our love of gaming with fellow gamers. This community is the reason why we love premiering games here at E3. For the rest of our briefing, everything you show you will be world premiere games no one has seen before.
All right.
Starting off with something entirely new from our friends at Bandai Namco. On my last trip to Japan, their creative team showed me a sneak peek at their next game. Now, you get to see the first look.
On my last year.
Separate from our own. Where the impossible is reality. They consist of both good and evil. These worlds were never meant to meet.
Oh, is this like an anime crossover game?
Have changed. We have begun to merge.
Yep. Yeah, that's Naruto. I think that was like a Dragon Ball Z ship somewhere. And Luffy. Okay.
Alright,
It's a new J-Stars game or what?
this looks cool.
Oh, and then of course the king. No, Naruto, don't do it to yourself. Frieza will cook everybody here. But is Yusuke Urameshi in it, I think, is the real question. I'm sorry, that was Light and Ryuk. That's really funny. I never imagined seeing them in this type of fighting game.
It's been 15 years since the fall. The city is a corpse, and we are the worms. We burrow in it. Find every useful piece of land to preserve.
No, they said the rest of them are world premieres.
From the terrors and night and the horrors of the day.
Could it be a brand new IP? Are we doing those still?
Choose between bad and worse. And these choices we take to survive will create the world to come.
No, never mind. Still looks.
It's alright.
Is this someone getting ready to explain to us what choices in a video game mean?
Yeah. Because gamers are dumb.
Seriously.
Working with Techland to create the world of Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is everything you'd expect from a bold sequel to the first game. A fluid parkour system with improved natural movement, deep and tactical first-person melee combat, and of course, terrifying nights.
I'm gonna be honest because I don't know how many of these talking in between segments are gonna happen. Assuming that it was drawing to a close pretty shortly, I did order myself a pizza. So if that happens, I am gonna get up and go get that and then come sit back down here. Just on us all on the same page.
A technical and narrative advancement for the franchise. Dying Light 2 will be the first in its genre where your choices have genuine consequences for the game itself. From how it looks, how it plays, to the events that occur, everything in the game world can change based on your decisions.
That's not a new thing. It's just you have to show us how you're actually doing that and not just creating the illusion of choice. Yeah, I thought this was a really weird direction for the new Mirror's Edge, but...
Dying Light 2 features a functioning ecosystem that reacts on multiple levels to the things you do and the choices you make. In the example we are about to show you, our protagonist undertakes a mission for the Peacekeepers, one of the many factions active in the city. They want you to negotiate with two survivors who are controlling and hoarding a water supply. Let's say you choose to carry out the Peacekeepers' orders, one way or another. After After this, you will start seeing a significant change in the city, as access to the water supply allowed the peacekeepers to bring stability and develop the area.
It's pretty cool.
There's even running water for the people at street level, and that raises their morale and allows you to replenish your energy on the go. But there's a cost to this. The PKs have a rigid approach to law and order. So while the streets may be safer, it's only safer for those who side with them. So if you get on their bad side. Now let's return to that moment of choice. And instead of killing them, you choose to team up with this group to supply water on the black market. As you will see, this creates a very different set of consequences for the city. With water being a precious currency, it brings you access to new resources and trade. But this in turn attracts the worst type of people to the area. And this is just a single decision, one out of hundreds you will have to make. But it allows you to carve out your own world. Each player's game experience.
That's real cool.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of games talk a big, they talk big talk when it comes to choice, but it's nice to see it actually like have ripple effects in numerous different ways.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm glad that we're in the process of kind of shaking off the last remnants of our zombie obsession from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of time has passed. You've gotten soft, complacent. You always knew this day would come. You always knew the three of you would be needed again. You always...
Is this the Powerpuff Girls game?
No way.
No, I'm kidding. I have no idea what this is.
That'd be cool.
Oh. Battletoads. Oh. Oh, man. What year is this? I'm glad that we as the consumer have had such an impact on the industry that meme games are now a pretty common thing. There's a sequel to Shaq Fu coming out.
I was born to fight wars that no army could win. There was no fear, no failure. But the rules have changed. The enemy has changed.
Okay, so
And no one was ready for it.
gritty middle-aged man with a beard.
The Black Hand. They are the world's most powerful
Yeah, I think
private
this just
army.
does.
But even
Okay.
they should fear what they've created.
I was gonna say, it's your best guess, really. This guy just kind of looks like every protagonist, so...
Yeah.
Want me getting shot at? All the time.
I have such a deep love for the fact that so many of the games being announced here are like within the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like that's a good window of time to announce a game. Like the new Smash Bros was announced in March. I'm hoping it there we go.
What?
This excuse? Come again?
Is this the Funko Pop video game?
Hold on. Can we...
I want to know what prompted that, like who thought that up?
Who started that conversation? Who let that conversation keep going?
13 years ago, when I began my Gears of War journey,
This
we
dude
had no
loves
idea how big
Pops.
the franchise would be. And as it's grown, we dreamed of taking it to new places in different ways to reach even more fans. And that's why today we're announcing Gears Pop, a collaboration with our friends at Funko to bring a unique mobile spin to the world of Gears.
Oh, it's mobile.
And mobile is not the only new place we're going. I'm excited to also announce a true Gears of War PC experience in a completely different genre, Gears Tactics. You create a whole new squad 12 years before Gears of War 1 as they hunt a local monster maker responsible for destroying whole cities. It's our take on the classic turn-based strategy genre with a character-driven story, faster, more aggressive gameplay, a customizable squad and equipment, and of course, it wouldn't be a Gears game without a massive boss battle. We look forward to sharing more about Tactics with you soon. But it's not just about going to new places. It's also about having new experiences. And the amazing team at the Coalition is working hard to bring you our most ambitious Gears of War title yet, Gears 5.
They're like, we should really keep this one in the back pocket in case the whole Funko Pop business doesn't go over well.
They're really banking on that one to take off so they can stop making these main series games.
But the war for humanity escalates on two fronts, outside the capital city and within Kate herself. In this moment from the game, Kate leads a rescue mission to a remote village, but something goes horribly wrong.
Sorry. Thanks for coming here. Of course. Can I recommend we maybe get these people out of here? Hey, just slow down.
No, Foz is right. We need to move.
What are you talking? He's dead, man. Give her a minute.
She'll get her a minute in the Raven.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Tell me to leave.
I'm not going.
Excuse me?
For months now, I've been having these dreams. Nightmares. But I think they were messages. Something's happening to me.
It's your grandmother's.
Enough. We'll deal with this later. Foz, round these people up.
I need help.
There's a place up north. I think we can find the answers there.
No.
Absolutely not. We have orders.
You'll go with me.
God damn it, both of you, listen.
I'll go with her. Look, if you're missing, she'll notice. Okay? I'll push Jack the coordinates. You're coming back to North Fury. That is a direct order.
Look, Captain. Screw your order. This isn't about you. It's about me. I need to fix this.
focus symbol.
Yes, so?
She would never be our enemy by choice. I know that.
Because she would die for us.
I know that. But what if it's not her choice?
Even for someone who's not really into these games, like, this is pretty compelling.
Yeah.
Just vague enough to work for a trailer. Oh wow, this is also going to be another Game Pass launch game. Gameplay too? It's supposed to be pretty far along then.
I feel like Gears 4 wasn't that far ago, but probably a couple years by now.
It's probably been 2-3 years at this point.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Why did you come here with me?
It was 2 years ago.
What did he tell you?
Less than 2 years ago.
Wow.
It was October of 2016. So this one is launching when? 2019. Alright, that's good. Probably the fall.
In the entire history of Xbox, in the entire history of E3, in the entire history of our industry, gaming is now at its most vibrant. Today, we shared our commitment to giving you the freedom to discover and play all of the great new games coming to Xbox Game Pass. Today, we showcased more games than we ever have before. 50 games, 18 titles with exclusivity, and 15 world premieres.
And a lot of it was really, really good
Today,
stuff.
We shared our most diverse gaming portfolio in every measure, from breadth in art style, genre, and cultures, range in subject and setting, scale and story, and scope and creative vision. And every one of these plays best on Xbox. The world of gaming is on an historic growth path, where the increasing number of gamers is met with the increasing creative power of game developers. In this significant moment, we are constantly challenging ourselves. Where can we take gaming next? Our answer? We commit and harness the full breadth of our resources at Microsoft to deliver on the future of play. Our experts in Microsoft Research are developing the future of gaming AI, so the worlds and characters we enjoy will be even more rich and more immersive. Our cloud engineers are building
Here's your hardware.
That sounds a little,
console quality gaming
murdery.
on any device. Not only that, we are dedicated to perfecting your experience everywhere you want to play. On your Xbox, your PC, or your phone. And of course, our hardware team. The same team that delivered unprecedented performance with Xbox One X is deep into architecting the next Xbox consoles. Where we will once again deliver on our commitment to
That's
set the
really
benchmark
soon.
for console gaming. And let's talk about our games themselves. We are committed to building an industry-leading first-party studios organization. And as you saw earlier, we are making one of our greatest single-year investments in teams by adding 5 new creative studios. We have committed our team, our company, our technical resources, so we can declare to you today and next year and all of the years after that always experience the best in gaming on Xbox. So choose the games you want to play. There are worlds to be saved, heroes to be made, and legends to become. Together. Thanks, and have a great evening.
That's a pretty cool way to transition into a...
Yeah. Oh, this is the, No, I don't know what this is. This might be the Cyberpunk game.
Oh, wait.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else. Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion. But it's there, just around the corner. And it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams. And I'm a big dreamer.
You were right. I only like Cyberpunk when it's the Super Mario Brothers live action movie. Sorry. It's probably their last quick little reel to close it out.
Yeah.
Still thinking Sea of Thieves is probably the best thing, the highlight of today's show, right? No, but like, actually kind of breaking it down here, what would we say are some of the highlights we've seen today, Nick? I think there was a lot of sequels, really not a whole lot of new franchises or anything taking place here, but some of the sequels we've seen look legitimately like really charming. Let me go ahead and close this out for us, huh? So, I could say, like, for me, there were a few that instantly popped to mind as being really kind of the most effective, reveals. I definitely appreciated the direction they took with the Life is Strange game. Super surprised to see a super anime crossover game at the kind of forefront of an Xbox presentation, but Devil May Cry, obviously a really big one, and they showed a few pretty good looking indie titles. Ori obviously is a pretty big one that everybody's super into, and then Cuphead already having, I can tell, was that a new game or was that additional content?
That looked like DLC.
Okay, yeah. So, and what are your thoughts? What do you think are some of the big takeaways here?
It was pretty alright. I wasn't blown away by anything. I think Cyberpunk 2077 looked the best to me.
Mm-hmm.
It looked the most original out of everything. It did look like another shooter, which this kind of show was filled with them. Kind of these gritty shooters like Halo and Gears of War. I wish, like, when announcing Gears or Halo, they were like, we're taking this in another direction, where it's going to be more along the lines of like an open world type game. I think Xbox needs more of those. Kind of like God of War, or what was the other one with the like big robots? Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Xbox needs some more of those like not so linear type games.
Yeah, and I think I was really surprised at sort of the ending of hearing where their heads are at in way of what next steps are. Advanced AI in games, I don't think that's something that we'll see manifest in any way, shape, or form for at least another decade. So like that we can kind of brush to the side. But the fact that they outright mentioned that they're in the process of actively kind of figuring out what the next Xbox will be, that to me seems a little bit odd. They literally just launched the One X, so to already be kind of looking after you've had several iterative versions of the same console to be looking to then make that jump to the next thing, like what about a new console from either Xbox or PlayStation? What about a new console is going to be inventive or valuable in any way when we're continuing to push these iterations that, at least on a technical front, are kind of maxing out what we're capable of making as far as content. The technical side of it is really the only reason to continue making those advancements, unless you're going to go the Nintendo direction and start having weird controllers and stuff that most people would refer to as gimmicks within kind of the design space of your console. But like ultimately, what benefit is there for anybody to kind of have these same iterative consoles repeatedly pushed out and not really having enough advancements to justify their purchase? It essentially is just a matter of how fast can we pump out exclusives that make this a system seller, which is a really bad place for the industry as a whole to go, I would say.
Yeah, unfortunately no one wants to hear that they're working on another console right now, especially when the Xbox One X is $500. And I know that I feel like most people are still going to buy an Xbox One S or a PS4 over the Pro or the X. Because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. And the leap in quality is something that I think maybe 2-3 years from now is going to make a big difference. But we are still not in a place where, for instance, 4K TVs are in everyone's home. That's just not where we are right now. If we get there, like I said, I give it 2 or 3 years. They're now reaching a point where I remember 4 years ago it was like minimum $2,000 you had to spend on a decent 4K TV, and now it's like below $1,000 you can get for a pretty sizable, pretty decent 4K TV. But it's not nearly as fast as we all thought. It's like when Sony started development on things for 3D TVs, and they just phased out like almost instantly. Like nobody really owns or uses a 3D TV. So you don't want to jump the gun on appealing to those type of technical demographics. So really, you have to do something that directly influences the relationship between the player and the game. I think Nintendo's onto something in that the way games control are kind of the most direct way to alter that influence. But as far as a traditional gaming experience, which, let's be honest, I don't see Xbox at the very least going in a different direction. I don't think you get much better than, from a structural angle, the Xbox controller, I think, is as good as it's going to be. Unless you're really into the extra 1,000 buttons you get with the Elite, but that's not really for me.
I think it would have been cool to be like, oh, hey, we're introducing these new like features or something to like customize it or something, like new colors. I think like, a quick little blurb like that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I don't think the way they went with the hardware was the correct way to do it. It seems like they're just leaving the HoloLens to die. Assuming it's not dead already. There's no mention of that at all.
Even though a lot of the talk when HoloLens was like really big, active in development, was surrounding its application in the gaming space. You know, they use like Minecraft as an example, but like that was conversation. Like how do we change the way you interact with games utilizing hologram technology? And it was really interesting in theory, but obviously it hasn't necessarily lived up to what we were kind of expecting there. Yeah, I honestly feel like the whole we're working on a new Xbox announcement was only even brought up because a couple of weeks ago, Sony had mentioned that they were in the process of like figuring out what the next PlayStation's going to be. So I feel like that was we're working on one too, guys, don't worry. You know, like I definitely don't think there was really a lot of practical application for that. I don't foresee if they are, you know, kind of knee deep in working on a console, we're probably not going to hear anything about it for another year and a half minimum. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of where I stand. Any final thoughts before we close up this one?
No, I thought it was pretty alright. Nothing mind-blowing, but...
Nothing mind-blowing, but you know what? We've still got a couple of them to go. I think there were definitely some pretty interesting titles, some unique ones. A lot of kind of rehashes, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Hopefully, we'll get a whole lot of super interesting content as well as more information on Fallout 76 at the Bethesda briefing, which will begin. We'll be starting our stream at 9:15 p.m. That's Eastern Standard. So, feel free to come back around if you guys want to learn more and discuss more about, you know, kind of what's happening with Bethesda, what we can see next. Definitely have a lot to share. Who knows? Maybe we'll even get that Elder Scrolls 6 reveal everyone's been talking about. But until then, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's really been a fun time here. We look forward to seeing you this evening. Make sure you come back soon for more from the Game Room.